Hardcore crappie fishing. What can I say? The gang's all here, and we're talking boats. And interesting enough, all of us have had numerous boats, but the gist is it's the aluminum versus the fiberglass. And so we're gonna try and some of the myths behind aluminum boats, we're going to try and address them and see what we come up with. And we're going to find out what everyone's using, what if it's an aluminum boat or if it's a fiberglass boat, and see. And we'll just start. We'll start with you, Payton. So
the best thing I think is aluminum does not rot.
That's right. Or scratch.
You know, and with what you're saying to that is back when I had my fiberglass boat.
You had a couple.
I had a Champion for years, and then I went to the center console Skeeter fiberglass. I loved that boat.
Yeah.
But back then we had a marina that we could pull in. I never pulled either one of those boats. Very rarely did I ever pull up on the bank.
Right.
If I'd have pulled them boats up on the bank like we have to now, I'd hate to see what the bottom of a fiberglass boat looked like. Same with you.
Yeah.
You know,
It looks like aluminum now.
Yeah. And that, I mean, now, you look underneath my aluminum boat, and that's the most scratched up boat in the bottom that I have ever owned.
Yeah.
Because we had to pull up on the gravel bars. Yeah. Yeah, so you don't look underneath nowadays. Just make sure there's no water running out when you pull out. You know, so. But
yeah, I mean, that was my biggest thing when I went to aluminum is that there's no wood in it.
Right.
No wood, no carpet, and I mean, aluminum doesn't rot.
There's some
So what brand? Tell us what brand you have.
I've got
and the size of boat.
23-foot Avid. It's a 23 FS.
Okay.
So mine is. Oh yeah. I gotta give it a little extra, don't you?
Gotta get that 7 inches.
Yeah.
Feel like we're in the locker room where we're measuring things.
Yeah. Don't forget about the 7 inches. I was like,
all right.
I thought 23 was enough, but yeah. 96-inch beam, right?
Yeah, yours is.
Yeah. So.
Sounds like Greg's got like envy, some type of boat.
He had to get a little bigger.
Oh, Greg's is bigger than yours?
His beam's a little bigger.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I didn't have to go.
It's lucky we separated them.
So, I have an Avid as well.
Yeah.
And it's a 23 FS Magnum. So the difference in the two,
See?
is his is 96 wide, mine's 102. Your sides,
My sides
the gunnel there, the difference in his deck, he's I think 3 inches and mine's 5 or 6. That's the only difference is in the boat. But the reason I got that one over what he got is he had to have blue and white. And I love the gray bomb that we call now battleship.
Battleship.
You call it
Battleship.
battleship because it's not white. I'm tired of white. So, but
because I went yours with the black boat and it was hot.
yeah. Oh
my gosh, it burned you.
That
Sit down, burn the
basket
seats, burn you, everything. Burned
Everything good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and on that Skeeter I had, if you'll remember, I put that stainless steel plate to extend the deck to make it warm. Boy, you talk about get hot, you just bump your leg on there. You'd walk around the console the deal. But I do like the consoles, center consoles over the regular boats that we've had in the past. Not because of the because of aluminum, but as the older we get, I fished in a Champion just a little while ago. Gosh, them seats was just fall off the floor. And
sitting down.
Yeah, and I'm just falling down and climb up out of the seat. I like that, just shut the boat off and walk up and get the stuff in. So I do like that.
Both of them have center consoles.
But you guys have...
We have aluminum boats too.
Yeah.
You have an aluminum boat.
Yeah.
And you have a 250 horse.
Yeah.
It's the fastest tin can on the
How
lake.
long is it?
Yeah, how long is it?
16.3?
16
with a 250.
and a half with a 250.
So if you ever see someone with the tracker boat and it says 250 on the engine, you're thinking, that can't be. Can it?
He never opens it all the way up.
Oh, I got you. I think we were wide open once. We were wide open, kind of like hardcore.
What did yours have, a 250 or is it 200?
Mine's a 200.
200, okay.
Yeah, 200. Yeah. But Optimax, but like on your boat, part of the deal where you do and you're doing.
I thought yours was a 4-stroke.
It is 4-stroke.
I wouldn't be Optimax.
It's got the new sound. You got the new sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the new sound.
Yeah.
I'll have
That's
the
a
turn.
4-stroke. You got 250 4-stroke, but they call it Pro XS. Is what
Yeah,
it's
that's
called.
right. I know I have a cover on it, so I can't see what it says.
There you
All
go.
I know is when it starts going, vroom,
Yeah.
ba, 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 ba,
Yeah.
ba, and it says go. That's what it says.
Gotta
And then
have
we
your
get
neck
up and
brace
down.
on when you take off. Keep
The
whiplash.
boat that I have now is the fastest boat I've been in, except maybe for a bullet that I've ever been in to get out of the hole. Like
Yeah.
literally, you know, the graphs are there and it just goes like that. And most of the time I use half throttle or 3/4 throttle. I don't even go full because,
And that's a Vexus shot?
yeah, it's a Vexus. So mine's a 2080 Vexus,
Okay.
which is just over 20, it's over 20-foot boat. So, and it can hold 4 people. Most of the time, 3, you know, you take
So
3
how have you
people
got
in
yours
one of
rigged
those.
out? As far as, what do you got on your boat as far as electronics and how you fish and for your stuff?
My electronics is a real mix. I have some Lowrance, and then I have the Garmin up there for live scope because I like that better. I like how it looks. I like how it feels. I like the target separation better.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they changed from the 32 to the 34, and the target separation went from 22 inches to 14 inches, it's able to separate stuff. I was like, and the bottom became different. It became the view became better, the image became better, and that's when I switched over to.
You mean from active target to back to
from
Garmin?
active target to that.
I gotcha.
So then I have that on there, and then I rig it up with a crow's foot, Driftmaster crow's foot for trolling crankbaits, and then we use planer boards, and otherwise we just go up front there. And what I've been doing with people that can't stand for a long time, then I put the seat up there, and then I stretch my leg all day. I can feel it when I do that, when I do something like that, if it is, but I still do it.
And you got them on, you got the beat down, right? The shorty?
Yeah,
or?
I got the beat down.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the Alti, but it's the shorty, but I got the
Extension?
longer, the extension. I put it on there and I'm like, wow, I can just keep it down low.
Yeah.
Because now,
I mean,
now with the Garmin,
I can raise mine up, but I hardly ever raise it up
Yeah.
more than that one level.
You
that
gotta be
I
able to see
have.
your trolling motor turn.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I have a
I'll
lot
leave it
of
just enough
ghosts.
where I can see.
Yeah, I have a ghost trolling motor and it hooks into the NEMA, and that's how I run it for trolling crankbaits. That's how I run it. I used it like a computer.
Yeah.
I set the speed by digits and I do it that way.
I got you. That's kind of what he's saying there. Is I took and went out with a guy this afternoon, and he had his raised
Way
up
up.
real. I mean, if you was leaning up against the butt seat, it was like right here, and I was having a hard time getting on the fish and showing him how to do it because I'm having to look around to see where my arrow is. Because he
You
had,
need one of those new
Well, he
planer
had,
things that go out there about 6 foot.
Yeah.
yeah, but this guy had a Motor Guide Pro Tour, old troll motor. Yeah, and so I mean it was just, and they did good really as far as getting the transducer to be in line
Right.
with the arrow. They did a great job on the mount, but it's just, and I finally, so he was, I got it all adjusted for him and got it all set up, and I said, okay, now you need to get up here and you need to be fishing, and I'm sitting back there, setting up the one at the console, and talking to his dad and stuff, and I said, you know, if you'd lower that thing down one whole complete notch, I think you can see your tow motor a little better and all that. He's like, wow. Wow.
That'd be like fishing. Wow.
So you're right, it's, you know, you can't
Yeah.
get too tall and that sort of thing, but
That's
but we're both full all garments. Payton has all garments on his boat. He got 312s, 312s. I got 312s. So we're all Garmin. We both got beat downs. But ours is the ultimate. A little bit different than Brad's. But for most part, same. And we're rigged with power poles versus theirs are just boats. Well, what all you got on yours?
Me?
Besides spider rigging rigs.
And I mean, part of the reason why you have your boat and why you take out the number of people you take out is because of the size.
Because of the size. I try not to do more than 2 people on my boat.
Plus, if they're spider rigging, there's only room up front for 2 people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right.
Like literally.
I'll throw people out the back. I'll throw
Right.
one person out the back, you know. But no, I have Garmin up front and I have a Helix -2, whatever that is.
Yeah, I've forgotten about that. The console.
At the console. I mean.
Didn't he set you up with the new ground?
Yeah, he
Did
set
he
me up
come
with
through?
Yeah, he's got a 10 now.
106.
There you
And
go.
I'm learning how to. I don't know. When I had the 93, it was like judging the size of fish, but now I'm like, it's like makes the fish even bigger now. So I'm like, I gotta figure that out.
It's only a problem when you catch them and they're not as big as you think they are.
I mean, you
Well,
know.
I've seen several here lately that you think is going to be bigger than what it actually is.
We'll catch it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, you know how the camera shows 10 pounds extra on your body. That's what it's doing with these fish. It seems like sometimes too.
No, those fish can fool. I've been to boat lately with a lot of people, and sometimes a fish on a branch looks bigger, and some of those things they will get them. They'll trick them.
The ones that's been that shallow lately, sometimes they'll trick you.
Yeah.
You're thinking they're a 12, 13-inch fish, and then you mess around with it, and you're like, get the net.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with our boats, you gotta take a break and smoke and before you get back there and get the net.
Basically, I went from a Skeeter fiberglass center console boat to this aluminum boat. Actually, I went to a Ranger first, but the main reason, not only of like Payton was saying about you don't have anything to rot and that sort of thing. I guess one of the biggest complaints, if I had to complain about something, is the compartments on water as waterproof as fiberglass. Where fiberglass would leak too, they all do, but not as bad, you know.
I don't like it.
And well, you got you don't have a totally
Yeah,
aluminum boat.
it's like a hybrid. Yeah, it's a hybrid.
You have,
type thing.
his deck and stuff is fiberglass, where ours is aluminum.
Well, it's aluminum on top, but they have holes, and all the holes that are underneath it, they're all filled with foam.
Yeah.
So when you hit it, sounds like that.
Well, we have quite a bit of foam.
So you have, the top deck is still built like a fiberglass boat, tight compartments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they fill it in.
Yeah.
And then also.
And they're tied. You will not run. You don't run wires over.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's no openings.
So, I mean, as far as flotation, our boats got a lot of flotation in them, but we're able to work on our boats a little bit easier.
You can't work on the
here.
Lexus.
Same way with Lance's,
Well,
but
they probably figured that out by now, then.
but
Get a bigger pipe through there.
the thing is that don't matter. It's money, you know.
It's the pipe that makes a 90-degree
Yeah, that's
turn.
why
Oh my
The
God.
problem with we run into one of his situations is the pipes here. The hole in the piece of metal is here. So you got boom, and how do you get your fish tape to hit the wall, go up, and go through? And so we found out 6 hours later?
Yeah, after
And,
taking the seats
We
out.
took the seats all out, we took the
bench.
whole
Yeah.
bench part out, took everything in the back of the boat completely out to find
Mm.
And then once we got found it
Wasn't a problem.
simple.
That's right.
So-
Couldn't put it all back.
But anyway, back to what I was saying though, as far as when I started looking at going, whether to purchase another aluminum boat or to purchase another fiberglass, if I would have stayed with Skeeter, And I would have bought a 23-foot boat like what I have now in the aluminum.
Yeah.
That was just a boat, motor, and trailer. No trolling motor, no electronics, no nothing. It was $74,000.
Yeah, cost.
And you know, this boat was 50,000, you know, or 55, something like that. So it's an easily 20 grand difference without, you know, having any accessories on a boat at all.
Yeah, and actually the Vexus, the aluminum series, they're guaranteed for life for the owner of the first owner.
The first owner.
So I have a lifetime guarantee on the hull. And then when I sell it, the second owner, doesn't matter how old it is, he gets 5 years guarantee for him. So my resale value just went straight up,
right,
because nobody else is guaranteeing the second owner in aluminum boats.
But overall, I mean, I have no problem with aluminum. I like aluminum.
But the question
rides
comes
good.
down to, and being in different boats is, most of them all had, in the last tournament thing that I was videoing, they all had fiberglass boats except for 2 of them. And they had aluminum boats, and they all were talking about boat slap. So that's where we're headed to on this. We're getting to the boat slap stuff, and we're gonna see if any of them had the blanket to put on there, and if they use the blanket. And Lance is just gonna tell you what he does to catch fish, because he hasn't changed anything on that.
I think he has an advantage because his boat,
That sits low.
it sits low, but it's what is it? What word's the word I'm looking for? Less water displacement.
Yeah, it doesn't have.
So if I go up in the same depth of water he's in, I'm gonna spook fish more.
Well, and you're with you being higher off the ground, and you got more of a V. His is more of a straight front. So with him sitting down, he doesn't get as much boat slap as what
Plus
you and I.
Plus I kind of take on water while I'm out there, so they can.
It drops lower.
That is true. And when you get a 260-pound guy in there with you, like me, it even,
So what do you think? You think that boat slap noise is scaring them off?
Oh,
it can.
Yeah.
I keep seeing
quieter.
all these pictures of you with all these crappie and catch them at 2 and 3 feet deep.
Well,
And
I mean, to a degree of what you said, the fiberglass has got a slap too.
Yeah.
But it's depending on the brand of boat of how that slap sounds, because I know there's some that doesn't have as much flotational, and if you're fishing out there by them, you can hear that slap.
Yeah.
But in a more solid boat,
Express boat.
you know,
Slap much.
yeah. Well, that's aluminum. Express is, but I'm talking about like an older version of. Well, like say a Ranger like Willard's got. It's not going to be as loud a boat slap as a 2024 because of the difference in the flotation in the front of that boat. You try to work on Willard's boat, you ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to run nothing.
It's old school foam.
That is, yeah.
Can't even get a drill bit through it.
I mean, his deck is actually plywood with a thin layer of fiberglass over it to strengthen it, and it will not rot. But that is a plywood floor on top of so much foam that
it's
it is.
plywood like this,
but the new ones, and that's why I say the newer boats, is, even though they may be foam filled, it's a more of a hollow sound.
Right.
And I think it makes a big difference.
And that's interesting. Of course, we want to hear what you have to say about that. And of course, we also want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us some comments and some ideas if you have something about a show, or if you want us to talk about it. But you have anything else to say about boat slap? Did you buy one of those blankets you put on?
Never did.
Never have.
No,
I had one, but it didn't fit right, so it was given to me, but it didn't fit right on mine.
Is it a boat bra? What is that?
It was called what was it called? Stalker. Crappie stock? No.
So you have one?
I have one at the house, but it doesn't fit my boat.
I'd forget and just drag it off.
Well, see, I put it on, but when I backed my boat off my trailer. It hooked up underneath the bunks.
Right.
And I couldn't get my boat off. So, but then I come to find out the fellow that gave it to me, he said, oh, it was made for like a different, like a G3 thing. He said he folded his some way to make it work around his low boat. He had a low boat. So
I don't think I've ever seen one of them on our lake ever. Have you?
Only on TV? I've ever seen one.
I think I saw one on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I don't recall ever seeing. I mean, it's.
But you said most people in tournament had fiberglass boats.
Most of them had fiberglass boats. That's kind of what they went to sell.
But I think
and some
I
of those
think a lot of them have the fiberglass boat more so. It's not the slat as much as the way the boat sits in the water. So they're fishing regardless of wind conditions and all this. And you take a boat like even ours, as big as our boat is. If I'm going into the wind, I'm fine. But if I see that fish over here at 3 o'clock and I turn and I got a 30-mile-an-hour wind, it don't matter whether I got paddles, it don't matter what you got, you're going.
Right.
And where that fiberglass boat, it'll go, but not as near as hard.
Yeah.
They can.
It pushes me around and I gotta get lined back up on it.
Yeah,
That way he's upwind of me.
That's what we do. We just let it push us to the point we can nose him back in the front of the boat. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that the fiberglass gets blowed around as bad, and I think that that's a lot of their reasoning for having the fiberglass over.
I think because they're older too, a lot of them are, and they just want to drive around in comfort.
Yeah.
Like they want a big fiberglass boat that they can sit down in there and have big cushiony seats and just drive on down the lake.
But I seen a deal the other day from they were talking about over here at the Bassmaster Classic,
Right?
and they were talking about the cost of the boats today.
Yeah.
The average bass boat. What do you think the average bass boat? And that's without all the electronics.
Average?
That's just a boat motor,
That's
trolling
probably
motor.
It's 190.
And that's a trolling motor that they put out, not what you want on it.
I'd say on an average you're at 80.
They said the average is 98,000.
Oh, 98.
And that's just boat motor and
By
a
the time you
trolling
get out of
motor.
there, it's over 100.
But if they said that if you rig it, don't matter whether it's crappie people or bass,
Right.
by the time they buy a boat and they rig a boat, it's a minimum now of right at 22,000 for accessories that they want to put on that boat.
Yeah.
So do you think fiberglass is going to phase out?
So if that's a 90, no, it won't phase out. But
Do you think more consumers are going to go to aluminum? That's what I'm kind of meaning.
No, I think what's going to happen as far as on the bass part of it, that's where you're hearing most of your hatred right now. But I think
There's a lot of guys running aluminum boats in that.
yeah, they're running
I think
aluminum. But I think where you're talking about whether or not they do away with live scope. They won't do away with live scope, but they will limit how many you can have on a boat. I can see that coming. In other words, you're going to have it on the front of your boat. They're gonna eventually. I can see where they'll limit you how many screens you can have, and I can see where they limit how many live scopes you have.
Should be nice, then that way they can't. You'll be stuck with a certain price point, at least for boats.
Well, the thing is, I mean, there again, it's all in about what you're willing to spend and how well you understand electronics. But you take a person that has now started putting live scope at the back of the boat, looking out in forward view on both sides. He can better understand that of what's over there than you might be able to, because you can understand your side scan fine.
Maybe, but I know Jacob Wheeler has it, and I just watched something that said he's only used that 5% of the time. He rarely uses it because of the fact
same way with Dustin Connell.
Side scan's better because side scan has history.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't have history. And so,
I see.
very few are going that.
But
That's a different topic.
Yeah, that's
We don't wanna jump off on that.
right.
Hey, if they wanna go in our aluminum boats, we'll start with
You
Payton.
can reach me at Payton Usrey Fishing on Facebook or 479-387-6153.
You can reach me at Lance Hughey at Crappie Guide Service, 479-236-4105.
Greg's Guide Service for 479-601-1683.
You wanna go out in that mean looking Vexus with that Arkansas red. I'm gonna say it's Calipari red. But,
I didn't know
but,
about that.
yeah, it's Arkansas red.
Is it?
Sure. You can check me out at Wiegmann's Guide Service or Brad Wiegmann at 479-756-5279. Like we always like to tell everyone, make sure you keep it
Hardcore.
Look at that, they're right on it.
You got muscle